Rechov Yerushalayim, and it's a musical. Rav Kalonimus Kalman Shapira said, "A person must build ladders for herself, upon which to ascend to heaven. Song is one of those ladders." And with this morning doing this, this is what I call, when I give a Devar Torah, I always like to include songs that are connected to the ideas of the Haftorah. And I call this a Shi'ur Hashirim. So, and today, the Parashat HaShavua is Chukat, in which we learn of the death of Miriam HaNeviah. And although I know some people celebrate her yahrzeit by going out in the Kinneret before Pesach, I don't know if you know about this. But here, this is the time, this is the point in the Torah where her death is mentioned. And we know that the death of a tzaddik or tzedeket is very special. And very in contrast to the deaths that took place last week in Korach, where death was a punishment. We all have our time in this world, and the time that we come in at birth, and the time that we leave. And they say that when Miriam was moving on to the next world, it was with a kiss of God, as calm as removing a hair from a glass of milk. And we think of that the neshama, they say that the Adin Steinsaltz says a tzaddik remains alive in some way. The soul, the death is the end of the body's functioning, but the soul, as we know, is eternal. And the Zohar says that the death of a tzaddik is also called a Hallel, a celebration. We're celebrating the life of the person. And what is this? We say that the death of a tzaddik is an atonement for the people. And I always wondered, what does that mean? I mean, how can her passing be an atonement? So I looked up atonement, and an atonement is considered Hashem forgiving the people so that he won't punish them. Rabbi David Aaron says that he calls atonement at-one-ment. At-one-ment. Because Hashem is removing the barriers. Because when we have committed a sin, we are distanced. And Avera is that we have distanced ourselves from what Hashem wants us to do and distanced ourselves from Hashem. So if Hashem grants us at-one-ment, the walls come down and we are able to again strengthen our connection to Hashem. And the death of a tzaddik, when we say that it's an atonement, we say that it's like a Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur, we are given the opportunity to leave at 9. That on Yom Kippur, the kapara, the atonement, is we can stop, look at ourselves, look at our lives, and say, okay, what am I going to do differently? How am I going to change? What can I learn from this day? So that when Hashem will forgive me and the nation, how are we going to be different next time? Because as we know with tshuva, it's not just sorry, I messed up, but it's how are we going to be better in the future? And so one of the things is that we want to learn from Miriam what her life mission was, how she fulfilled it, and how we too can learn from her life, from her mission, and we too can come closer to Hashem. So her mission from a very young age was to give life to Bnei Israel, spiritually and physically. As we know, when she was a young child, she went to her parents and she said, you know, like, hello, you can't stop having babies. We know it's terrible that the boys should be thrown into the Nile, but you're stopping the nation from even having girls, as we know. So she, from a very young age, took it upon herself to say, Am Yisrael has to continue. We have to continue. And of course, we know the story after that. And in a physical sense, and also spiritually, she was the teacher of Torah to the women. As Moshe taught to the men, she taught to the women and strengthened the women. We know that there was the women who did not participate in the Egel HaZahav, who were not, when they came out of Mitzrayim, not only did the women bring their matzot, or the dough that was going to become matzah, they brought their tambourines. And they that was what's going on? What do you need tambourines for? Because she gave them the emunah that Yetov, Hashem will not only save us, we will thrive and we will celebrate, we will sing, we will be reunited with our spiritual goals. And this is what Miriam gives to us, that we should continue in our spiritual growth, in our Torah growth. Also, as we know, that's the spiritual part. The physical was not only that we should continue having children and continue in the Israel. The physical part was that what did Hashem give to Bnei Israel in the merit of Miriam when they were in the desert? Water. Obviously, the sustained life. The well of Miriam was not only to give water for life, it also was mikvah, so that the women could fulfill Taharat Mishpacha and continue to have children and to continue to grow the nation. Now we know some people say that the well of Miriam is now located in the Kinneret near Tiberia. Does anyone know exactly where? I'm not sure. It's in yeah, right. And
there's a bucket right over there.
Right. This is the spot here. You are here. Yes. So okay. So the Alter Rebbe, in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, he says that on Motzei Shabbat, the well of Miriam flows through the springs and the wells. And that's why some people, I don't know if it's still today, but some people have a minhag that on Motzei Shabbos, they draw water from a well or a spring, because this well of Miriam is flowing through it. And I was thinking, drawing water from a well. That sounds like Ushavtamayim Bisason Mimayne Yeshua, which we say at Havdalah on Motzei Shabbat. So, yeah. Right. Okay, amen. So we have all these wonderful ideas, and the ideas of not only water being, of course, physical life, but the Torah is sometimes called Mayim Chaim. And so she taught Torah, she gave us life, and may she continue to give us life. So I would like to, we're gonna have to share these because I didn't make enough for everyone. If you can kind of pass these around, like take one, like you can share these around. What I wanted to do is, there's a famous pasuk when after the Bnei Yisrael passed through the Yam Suf. And we know that as Yashir Moshe, Bnei Yisrael, and I'm sure the women sang along for that too. As we know, Miriam led the women. And this is what we continue. This is why I wanted you to bring the tambourines today. Some people, that she took the drum in her hand and led the women in dance. This song, okay. So this song, various musicians have made melodies for it, and actually our own Mayor Glaser has a melody for this. But I want to sing it with you to the tune of Eshet Chayil, because Eshet Chayil, some people have a minhag of singing Eshet Chayil at a levaya, at the funeral of a woman, in praise of her. And since we're speaking of the death of Miriam, she certainly was an Eshet Chayil. So I wanted to sing that together with you. And then following that, I'd like to do Shaftamayim. So let's do and if we want to get up and dance. Okay. Somebody wants to borrow, I can't play guitar and play some tambourine at the same time. Someone wants to borrow this. Okay. Oh, by the way, I think half the time I had this cut off in the video. I just bought it, by the way, before I forget, I want to thank Judy again for giving me the opportunity to come and share with you.
Wow.
It gives you,
Thank you for giving up so much.
this is what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to sing and teach and do, and it gives me an opportunity to increase my learning too. So, okay. So. I'm just trying to get that's a little too low. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit higher.
We don't get down in the basement.
That's better. But okay, just move this up a little. Yeah, because I think half the time you were getting my net. V'tikach Miriam Hanaviyah Avot Zaharon Etom B'yada V'tetzer Nahol Hadashim Achareh V'tuvidu V'tolot V'tikach Miriam Hanaviyah Avot Zaharon Etom B'yada V'tetzer Nahol Hadashim Achareh V'tuvidu V'tolot V'ta'an lahem Miriam
Oh, we got the dancers here. Here it's Miriam's dancers. Okay, we're gonna do now we're gonna do musical Hilchos Shabbos. Okay, so we're gonna continue learning all the laws of Shabbos. We're gonna learn the laws of Okay. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that, and that's it for today. Okay, so just a quick review of what we've been learning. We've been talking about the rabbinical laws of the malacha of bona, construction, building, and the last thing that we talked about the things that were exempt, things that were different types of coverings, construction that is permissible. Okay, so that was basically quickly 3 different categories. A canopy that's held up, by hand, as long as it's not some kind of a structure. Okay, also like the teepee kind of a canopy. You can go in, play Indians. Does anybody play? No, it's very politically correct. You don't play Indians. No umbrellas. This we know. No umbrellas. Okay, and then the third category of things that are allowed, that are not considered an ohel, are things that fold. So tables, chairs, awnings, things like that. Okay, so now we're going to go on. I'm going to talk about a different area. We're talking about containers, covering containers. So we have a basic principle, and that is ein ohel b'kelim. Okay, so there's this idea of making an ohel, of making some kind of a roof, right? Remember, we talked a while back about the fact that a roof is really what determines a structure, right? I mean, even in Israeli law, I think in American law, if you build a roof on something, that is considered, if you don't have a permit, you violated the law, because that is what is considered construction. Walls, less so. Who's this? My husband. Should I answer? Getting a dvar Torah here. I left the water heater on. Okay, gotta go. I'll call you. The old Kukum works. Good. Okay. I'll call you back, sweetie. I'm in the middle of a dvar Torah. Okay, and on Zoom. Okay. I just want you to see what a good wife I am. My husband calls. Everything else stops. What? Okay, very good. Very good. Yeah, that's it. It's a hard road, but I'll try. Okay, so all right, so we learned right, that an OHEL is a very significant point, a fact in establishing whether something is a bona is being done. But we said that with kalim, meaning small things, small structures, there's no concept of putting an OHEL over that. Okay, let me just tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, so like if you want to put a cover over a trash can, or if you want to put the plastic cover on top of a plastic container, okay, you are allowed to. Don't you feel better now? Okay. Okay, because ein ohel b'kelim, there's no such idea of making a cover with when you're talking about kalim, when you're talking about containers and objects like that. Okay, this is the main reason for this is that that's how these things were designed, right? It's like the same concept, the same idea as a door, as a window, right? We've said this over and over again. A door that's its function. And this is a principle that exists in many other areas of Hilchos Shabbos, that if this is its function, if this is what it's for, then it's not considered to be a malacha, even though it might be similar to other activities. Yes. Oh, very good. Okay, that's that. Okay, that's A6. Yeah. You can do that. No, if it is part of the stroller, it's not some kind of add-on, right? If it's part of the stroller and it's its normal function, it's like opening a door. Its normal function is to open and to close. What comes into question? What? It's an awning, exactly. A little awning. Right. So this is what's more of a question, whether you can put like a netting over it. Okay. So it's preferable to have at least some of it on top of the bonnet of the stroller before. As far, I think it might be. Right. We actually, she said that you have to leave it open a little bit. No, we talked about that idea with certain things like a covering over a sukkah. It has to be open, a tefach before Shabbos. But I don't know. The Ashkenazi ruling is that you don't need to do that if it is part of the stroller. So, okay. Do I have time for? Okay. Yeah. So specifically an awning is a collapse. It's collapsible. It's just like a window. Okay. And I'm talking about these awnings that roll. Stay away from the electric ones on Shabbos. But these kinds that roll out and cover up so even though it's there for protection, and even though it looks like an ohel, but it's connected to the building, and therefore it's permissible to use. It's like the same thing like opening a door. Okay, and umbrellas? No umbrellas. Okay, no umbrellas. Umbrella is it's like every place. So let's say you made it before you opened it up before Shabbos. Right, like what would be? You're not making, a covering, but you are. Every time you take a step, even if it's a place that has a roof, you're making a new ohel here and then here and here. So by render could exactly. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. That's all for today. Okay. Kind of cutting it a little. Okay. Ilana's here. There's Ilana. Everybody say Ilana. Miriam's. not going to make it today. I mean, Baruch Hashem, it's for very good reasons. Her brother has made his first visit here in like 47 years. I don't think this. 47 might be an exaggeration, but anyways, it's a very long time. The whole family's getting together, and it's a huge simcha. And hopefully he'll keep joining the rest of the family here soon. So, okay, I want to thank Chana Tehila Lankry. Where is? Oh, she's here. There she is. Okay, she's sponsoring breakfast today. And this is, we have the pleasure of joining in her Sudat Hodaya. Okay, and you want to say something for a minute or?
First, I want to say that I think you my previous too long being far away from home, so I'm back.
Yay!
All on the ground for the Father and Israel and all the things that we have the privilege to have every day. And I think one of the things is to say thank you to Hashem to have this privilege. And we'll take it for granted, we really are privileged to live